When she said it, I thought I'd misheard her. Cancel your best friend as best man. I want my ex there instead. The words hung in the air like smoke, slow and poisonous. My hand froze halfway through tying my tie. I turned to her, half expecting a laugh, a smirk that would tell me she was joking. But Claire wasn't laughing. She stood in the doorway of our bedroom, arms crossed, wearing that calm, detached expression she used whenever she wanted something unreasonable to sound rational. "Excuse me," I asked carefully. "You heard me," she said. "I want Daniel to stand beside you. As your best man." Daniel, her ex, the man she'd dated for 3 years before me. The man who, according to her, was just a friend now. I blinked, trying to keep my voice steady. "You want me to replace my best friend, someone who's been in my life since college, with your ex-boyfriend?" "He's not just my ex," she replied, almost offended by the word. "He's been part of my life for years. We're friends. Mature adults can maintain friendships after breakups, you know." My chest tightened. "Claire, this isn't about maturity. It's about boundaries. Do you have any idea how that would look?" She sighed dramatically, as if I were the one being unreasonable. "You're overreacting. It's not like I'm asking to marry him. I just don't want any awkward energy at the wedding. Your friend Mark hates me, and he's been making snide comments. Daniel would be supportive. He actually wants to see me happy." Her words stung more than I wanted to admit. "Mark doesn't hate you," I said quietly. "He just sees things." "Sees what?" she snapped. I didn't answer, because deep down I knew what he saw. The same flashes of manipulation I'd chosen to ignore, the subtle ways she turned every disagreement into my fault, the cold silences that followed whenever I dared to push back. I'd convinced myself it was stress, that every couple fought before a wedding. But this was different. That night I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, listening to her soft, steady breathing beside me. Her words replayed in my mind until they lost shape, twisting into something darker. Why him? Why Daniel? By morning, I'd almost talked myself into believing it was innocent. Maybe she really wanted to prove something, to herself or to me. Maybe this was some strange emotional test. Then I saw her phone light up on the dresser. A message flashed across the screen. "Can't wait to see you tonight. Feels like old times already." It was from Daniel. My stomach dropped. I shouldn't have looked, but I did. I picked up her phone and scrolled. The messages went back weeks. Dinner plans, inside jokes, late-night heart emojis. And one message that hit like a hammer. "I missed your laugh. I missed us." The worst part. She'd replied, "Me too." I put the phone down slowly, every breath coming shorter than the last. She stirred beside me. "What are you doing?" she mumbled. I turned, meeting her sleepy gaze. "You've been seeing him." Her eyes snapped open. "Excuse me." I held up the phone. "You've been texting Daniel, meeting him, flirting. And now you want him standing next to me on our wedding day." For a second she just stared. Then, incredibly, she sat up, fury overtaking guilt. "You went through my phone." I almost laughed. "That's your defense." "You violated my privacy," she shouted. "Your privacy?" Shut back. "You're lying to me. You're still in love with him." The silence that followed told me everything I needed to know. She didn't deny it. When she finally spoke, her voice was soft, trembling, not from remorse but from control. "You're blowing this out of proportion. Daniel and I are just reconnecting as friends. I love you, but if you're going to be this insecure, maybe we shouldn't get married." There it was, the knife between the ribs, delivered with a calm smile. I didn't respond. I just stood, grabbed my jacket and left. 4 hours, I drove aimlessly through the city, headlights blurring into streaks. My hands gripped the wheel so tight my knuckles turned white. I thought about calling Mark, but I couldn't bring myself to admit what had happened. Not yet. That night I stayed at a motel. I stared at the beige ceiling and tried to imagine the rest of my life with her. Every laugh, every kiss, every promise, suddenly tainted by one message. In the morning my phone buzzed. Claire, I'm sorry for how things went last night. Come home. We need to talk. Against my better judgment I went. When I walked in, she was sitting at the kitchen table, her hands folded neatly in front of her. I shouldn't have yelled, she said softly. You're right. I crossed a line with Daniel. It won't happen again. Her tone was rehearsed, but her eyes wouldn't meet mine. I wanted to believe her so badly. You're sure? She nodded. Completely. I love you, Jason. I don't want to lose what we have. For a moment, hope flared again. We hugged and I felt her arms around me. Warm, familiar, deceptive. But then her phone buzzed again. Daniel. This time, the message preview was just a photo. A mirror selfie of him, shirtless, with the caption, "Thinking about last night." She froze. My body went rigid. Explain it, I said. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. And in that instant something inside me snapped. I didn't yell. I didn't throw things. I just picked up the ring from the counter, set it in front of her and said quietly, "You don't get to humiliate me twice." Her face crumpled. Jason, please, it's not what it looks like. It's exactly what it looks like, I said. And you know it. I left before she could stop me. 3 days later, Mark found me at a bar. You dodged a bullet, he said after I told him everything. I laughed bitterly. Feels more like I got shot and survived. He nodded. Sometimes that's what dodging a bullet really means. Months passed. The wedding was called off. Word got around. Apparently, Claire and Daniel didn't even last long. Whatever spark they thought they had burned out fast. One evening I got a letter. No return address, but I knew the handwriting instantly. Inside was a single line. I made the worst mistake of my life. I thought I wanted comfort. I wanted you. I folded it, set it aside, and didn't respond. Because by then I'd learned something important. Love can survive distance, time, even pain. But it can't survive disrespect. Once that trust is gone, everything else becomes noise. I never got my wedding, but I got something better. Freedom. And the quiet, steady peace of knowing I finally stopped fighting for someone who was never fighting for me.